So your old way of thinking about your emotional eating is keeping you stuck. You need a new way in order to resolve this pattern. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Michelle. I'm a certified holistic nutritionist specializing in emotional eating. And I wanted to talk about this. What is out there and what most of us think about our emotional eating is that somehow we are broken, something's wrong with us, we just need more willpower, and we get stuck in the same pattern. So we are following the diet plan or the food plan, and every day we end up in emotional eating and eating the things we don't want to eat, in sort of dragging along, hitting our head against the same wall and then saying, oh, nothing works. And then the next day we do the same thing. I'm going to do the willpower. I'm going to do the diet. And then that time of day comes along and you're derailed and you're like, oh, nothing works. And you're back in the cycle and you're back in the cycle and you keep feeling defeated. You tell yourself you're not consistent. You don't know what you're doing. Something's wrong with you. You don't have enough willpower. But that's not what's going on. That's the end result of you emotionally eating. The end result is feeling defeated. The end result is the shame spiral. But that's not where it starts. Emotional eating doesn't start at the end. It starts way before then. So you have to backtrack and you have to look at what's going on in this pattern. You have to understand this as a pattern. When you make that shift from thinking you need more willpower to understanding this is a coping mechanism and pattern and that you need different tools, that's like an aha that gives you permission to do things a different way. So once you have your binge and you feel defeated, let's backtrack. You had your binge. What created your binge? There was some type of trigger. What was the trigger? Usually with emotional eaters, there's some kind of event, discomfort, stress, uncomfortable emotion that's triggered that turns on this pattern really automatically, and then we go towards food. And it can be happening the same time of day. It could be the result of the way we've been eating throughout the day, just what happens at that time of day. It just tends to come up. And so we have to look at what is that trigger. And so we can start becoming aware day to day what that trigger is, but we have to go even further back. We have to look at what created this coping mechanism, because we can start being aware of what's triggering us, but now we have to understand we need to go deeper into the emotions, the uncomfortable discomfort that's coming up. But why do we feel we can't be with them? Why do we feel that something's wrong with us when we feel this way, that we jump into a coping mechanism? And this would have started happening, this belief and this way of dealing with emotions, at a very young age when we were children. And so this becomes an automatic pattern. And so we have to go deeper into those roots. And when we shift it at that level, this whole cycle stops, because now we're going to actually be with emotions as they need to be with and meet our true needs. We're going to be able to know that we're emotionally hungry, or if we're triggered, when we're truly hungry. And our body is going to start wanting foods that support us versus numb us out, or make us avoid what we're feeling. Because the foods we're drawn to as emotional eaters, they're not carrots and broccoli and really nutrient-dense foods. They're going to be more processed foods. They're going to be foods that give us more of a dopamine kick, give us sort of this temporary relief, because food, when we eat it, whatever variety, it does feel good in our body. But processed foods are created in a way where they make our brain go like this, 100-fold. It's like it excites our brain. It gives us that instant sort of, oh, this feels good. And it makes us want to keep going to those foods, because coping mechanisms, our brain loves efficiency. So it's going to jump into a coping mechanism. It's going to jump to the foods, whether the coping mechanism is healthy or not. And so if you keep banging your head every day trying to willpower without doing the deeper work, you're just going to end up in the same pattern. You're going to consistently do the same pattern. So it's not that you're not consistent. It's not that, something's wrong with you. It's that you're not willing to go backwards. You're not willing to go deeper. And every day you're in the same pattern. So as you shift the way you look at your emotional eating and realize it is a deeper issue and you don't have to keep willpowering and listening to the old way, this is going to give you a doorway to finally getting to the resolution that you need. So this is what we do inside of the Emotional Eating Evolution program. We are looking at the deeper patterns and triggers, so the deeper emotional patterns that are creating your true emotional eating and the triggers that are triggering you into your emotional eating. And we're creating resolution at this deep level, but also giving you the tools to create that healthy relationship to food and your body, because there are triggers around that too. The way we've been being with food and thinking we have to jump into the diets, that's creating these triggers. And the way we're being with our body and over exercising or shaming it or not understanding what acceptance is, that's triggering us into this pattern as well. And so inside of the Emotional Eating Evolution program, we're looking at these 3 key areas so that we can resolve this crazy loop. So you're not constantly in this loop. You break that cycle, you get to the deeper root so you can move forward powerfully. So with food, we're shifting from this old way of being to food to truly nourishing your body. We are shifting from body shame to body acceptance, and with emotions, getting into the deeper roots and actually meeting our true emotional needs and moving forward really powerfully. So we're no longer using food to soothe or as a band-aid and caught in this unconscious loop. So part of us, we're like, this is what I desire for my life. But the rest of us is falling back into this old pattern, We are shifting the old pattern so we can actually move towards what we want. So if this is resonating for you and you want to dive in deeper and actually resolve your emotional eating from the root without willpowering and efforting and actually truly change the pattern, then I'd love to invite you to find out more about the Emotional Eating Evolution program. This is an amazing program that gets into the roots and helps you remove the resistance and blocks holding you back from feeling at ease in your body and confident in your body and confident around food and at peace with food. So if you'd like to find out more about the program, you can find out more at the link below. If you have any questions about what I've shared, please let me know. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I look forward to sharing more with you, and I hope you have a great day.